You do work, you want to get paid for it. That's why you're doing the work. But you haven't gotten paid, you reach out, the client comes back with some cockamamie reason but why it's okay that they haven't paid you yet. And maybe they don't even know when they're going to be able to pay you. That's not good. I'm going to talk to you about how to deal with that situation with as minimal friction and frustration as possible with what I've learned from people who are experts at it. And it doesn't matter what kind of creative work you do, getting paid for an invoice is getting paid for an invoice. So this advice will work for you regardless. Welcome to Pull My Focus, Adventures in the World of Digital Filmmaking, where we give you the inside tips you need to make great video, including getting paid for it. You finished a job, maybe you got paid up front for half, whichever, and you deliver and the terms are net 30. You invoice 30 days later, no check, no payment, nothing in your bank account. Now, if you have this thought that, well, don't do net 30, like don't give them the final product till they get paid. That doesn't work in all situations, particularly the type of work we do for agencies where that's the standard, net 30. Really big companies, they're net 60. Yep. Particularly what I'm talking about here is you've already delivered it. There's less pressure on them to pay you. So now how do you deal with that? You reach out to them and to say, hey, what's up, unpaid invoice. You expect, oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna get this paid right away, our bad. But instead, you get, oh yeah, well, we don't know when we can pay you because we haven't even gotten paid ourselves by our client. Wait, what? That's not okay. Now, you call them up, you have a phone call with them to discuss it. What's gonna happen is they're gonna go into explanation mode, explaining why they weren't able to keep their initial promise, which was to pay you within 30 days of when they receive your invoice. Our client hasn't paid us yet. They usually pay on time. We don't know what's going on and on. You're gonna have reactions like, well, I delivered on time, so you know, how about you pay me on time? Like, you would have had a real issue if I didn't deliver that video on time, if I didn't solve the problems I needed to solve in order to get that to you. Or you might think, well, you know, your cash flow problems don't need to be my cash flow problems. Whatever issues you're having, solve them, get me paid. Like, get a line of credit, figure it out. Have those thoughts and then let them go. Do not get into it with them. Do not engage with reasons why their reasons are no good. Because then it's just, it devolves into an argument. They're gonna strengthen their explanation and you're gonna strengthen your reasons why, your explanation about why their reasons are wrong. And it doesn't go anywhere. And it's not, regardless of whether you're right or not, there's just no cheese down that tunnel. The reasons they have, the explanation for why they haven't been able to pay you isn't important. What's important is, what are they gonna do now? Now, you may agree with their reasons, like, oh, geez, that really sucks that you haven't been paid by your big client. You're my client, now I'm not gonna get paid. I gotta pay the rent, I gotta pay off this gear, I gotta pay the rental, I gotta do all this stuff. And now it's like two different groups comparing sob stories. Whose sob story is better? It's no different than arguing with them. No cheese down that tunnel. You wanna find out what they're gonna do next, what they're gonna do now. How are they gonna solve this problem? If you're enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please subscribe to our channel. Let us know videos you would like to see or information you would like. And also, we have a Patreon. Would be super helpful to help us to keep continuing to be able to produce this content for you. So now what you do is you bring them over to the promise that they originally made, which is broken, and you want them to make a new one. So all you say is, got it. When am I gonna get paid? Now, they may go back into explanation. Well, we don't know. We don't, you know, they haven't paid. I mean, and they're gonna give you, again, that sob story that may even be dramatic to the point of like, are they trying to win an Oscar or an Emmy here? Again, don't engage. Let them explain, and then come back to the promise. I hear you. No, I got it. I just need to know when I'm going to get paid. Now, they may get frustrated and go, well, I don't know. I just told you I don't know when. So what you do then is ask, when will you know when you'll be able to pay me? And they may say, well, we expect to supposed to hear from them on Wednesday, and then chat with so-and-so on Thursday. Okay, so it sounds like by Friday you should know when you'll be able to pay me. Yeah, by Friday we should know. Yeah, okay, great. So you'll send me an email on Friday? Can you do that? And let me know when you'll be able to pay me then? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Okay, so now they haven't made a promise when they're gonna pay you, but they have made a promise when they're gonna let you know when they can pay you. It's not ideal, but it's still a promise that you can hold them to. And that means on Friday, if you don't get that email, you need to send another email going, hey, where's that email? When are you gonna pay me? So I learned this from an accountant who worked in an accounts payable department in New York City and for big companies, and he was really good at it. And one of the things he said is, look, it sounds simple when I describe it, but in practice it takes work because we're not robots, we're human beings, and there's feelings and all this stuff involved. So really, the whole point of these two circles, so to speak, is that there is to be able to distinguish between them explaining why they didn't keep their promise and bringing them back to, okay, but you need to keep your promise, so make a new promise. What are you going to do now to solve this problem? And think about, like, if you came to a client saying an edit was due today, and you're like, well, I couldn't finish it because I had this problem and that problem and my hard drive and my this. They don't want to hear it. They want to know, well, we need to see this edit because we need to get it to our client. When is it going to get done? They want to hear, not the sob story. They want to know, when are we going to see this next edit? And it's weird. I don't know why this happens at times with invoicing, but it's just people are weird about money, I guess. But it's like, if the account payable job is to pay you, why can't they get clear about it? Black and white. More often than not, I rarely have this problem. It's once in a blue moon. And sometimes the explanation is, well, my bookkeeper only comes in on Thursdays or on every other week or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so I make them, I get the new promise. Okay, so he's going to cut the check this Thursday. Okay, great. And then I say, look, in the future, I would request that you cut it the week earlier on the previous Thursday, because net 30 means I'm paid within that time, right? And there's a client who I just don't work with anymore because of that. It's just negligent. I'm not negligent and indifferent about my deadlines. And they need to be the same, not only in the material they need to get us so we can get the job done, but also getting me paid. If you don't respect the work I do and respect me as a vendor to pay me on time, then I'll go work for people who are. I don't say that, but that's where I'm coming from. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, or if you have good stories about getting paid, not paid, and how you dealt with it. For me, they're fascinating stories. Sometimes, I don't know why. It's drama, right? We like drama. People banging heads about trying to get paid or being taken seriously, right? And being respected for the craft. Have respect for our craft.